In this video, I'll be taking this carburetor completely apart and showing you how to clean out the jets. If you want to know how to take out this carburetor, in the last 20 seconds of this video, you'll see a card and it'll show you a video I did of taking this carburetor out. This spring here shouldn't even need to be dealt with at all, but in case it did come off on you, it goes right here to what I call the permanent post because this hardly moves at all. But it also connects up here up front, and it's what controls this butterfly valve right here. Don't confuse it with the hole that's up here where the linkage went to. It actually goes to the butterfly valve. Now on the other side of this carburetor, behind this white ring, there's a black O-ring. In other words, you got this here, then behind that is this black O-ring. And if you listen close, you'll hear it snap in whenever I push this in. Now right at the bottom of the carburetor is this, the 3/8 inch wrench. When you take this out, a lot of gasoline is going to come out, whatever's sitting in here. This entire carburetor can be bought for roughly like $15 on the internet. I'll be leaving an Amazon affiliate link. I don't know exactly how much it is on Amazon, but they're very competitive. This is just a 7mm or a 9/32. I'm using 9/32. It's actually a little bit big. It might come off for me really easy, but the first time I did it, I actually had to take something like this and pry it right here to get it to come apart because it was in there so hard. And then that comes right out. This float right here, it just clips in from the bottom. In other words, I'm just taking this and I'm going to pry up and it comes right out. This pin now just slides right out like that. Then the whole float comes out, and right in here is the needle valve. It's got like a black rubber tip on it. If yours is all corroded, it'll probably just leak gas in through right here. This right here, which is where all your jets are. Now I found to get this out, I've tried to just pull him straight out and I was never able to get him out that way. What I had to do is I'm using this as a lever and pry up this way like that, and out he comes. Make sure yours still has this black O-ring and this big black O-ring right here. Now there are 4 jets that you need to spray out with either carburetor cleaner or WD-40, whatever you use. The 4 jets are right here. There's one there, the center one, this one, and one right here. That's the 4 jets at this point. But there's actually 3 more holes that you can clean out. We have to pry off this right here, and all you do is take a screwdriver, put it there. I actually always used 2 screwdrivers, a small one to start it and then a bigger one. I just kind of rock it back and forth and pull. And out comes this piece right here. There's 3 more jets right here, here, and here. And of course, when you sprayed down this center one, it actually went through these holes right here. To put this guy back, he goes on this way, meaning this little point here goes here. If you actually look, you can even see that fits in there. But what I always do is I push my finger right here down to the top of this. There's no O-ring or anything up in here or around here. It's just pure plastic. Just push from the top till you get to this top right here. Then you have to push it from both of these sides and push down real hard, and it slowly goes down. But he goes all the way down till you can't even get a screwdriver in there. In other words, just as far down as you can get him to go. There's a couple of spots down in here. You can't see it, but in real life you can see it quite easily where you might want to spray some WD-40, etc., whatever you're using up into there. Here is where the needle valve went. And you can spray it from both sides. This just goes straight through. It's a big hole. Goes straight through to where the needle valve went. you might want to spray right into here and into here. And then this is a long shot because that's the only places really to spray. Back here on this butterfly valve, there's a hole right there. Just make sure it's not plugged up with something as well. Outside of that, I think you'll have it all sprayed out. Now we'll be putting it together. To put in these jets, just make sure this little part right here is not facing toward this white. In other words, it goes like this. It's pointing this way. See how the white O-ring is there? The reason is this O-ring right here has a little slot that he goes down into. So then you just take that and just push it real hard. And if you heard it, snapped in. Putting in this float and needle valve can be a little bit hard. I find it easiest to put the needle valve in this and not have the pin in yet. And then what I do, I take it and I put this needle valve in here. Now, once I do that, to me the hardest part is getting this pin to stay. In other words, I'm just pushing this pin across like that, and then you'll push this down, and usually you'll hear it snap in. There we go. So now the float is in there correctly. See how the float's working? While I'm here, I do want to bring up, always remember, this got clogged up for a reason. So if your gas has a bunch of dirt and stuff in it, or the line that comes down to here is really corroded and bad, you may fix everything and it'll plug up again, especially if your line is bad. I know I had a cracked and corroded line on a Toro mower, and I took all this apart, fixed it, and right away a piece of rubber came down and blocked up my needle valve. So keep that in mind while you're working on this stuff. I'm going to put this in now with that 3/8 inch wrench. Remember, it's just a quarter turn to put that in. So now what happens, if I put it in this way, it goes down flush. But if I turn it 180 degrees like this, it won't go in there anymore because it's hitting this part right here. This is. So what I do, I take this O-ring off. I test it first. Now I know it goes that way. Make sure you lube your O-ring up good. To lube it up, you can just use some kind of oil. So you put this on. Now it goes like this. Now he'll push in. Now what will happen a lot of times if you have this O-ring lubed up real well, you'll find you'll push him in, you let him go, and it'll walk out like that. That's normal. Then we take our screws. That's all there is to it. You're all finished. Click on the card now showing if you want to see how to take out and put in your carburetor. Appropriate Amazon links are left down below this video. This is Ron from Fixing Stuff in Black and White, signing off.